Welcome to Card Market Catalyst, your go-to source for everything related to football card investing. Whether you're tracking the latest market trends or looking for the next big prospect, we've got you covered. If you enjoy the insights, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the show, and follow us for all our future episodes.
Welcome to this exclusive Masterclass Explainer. Today, we're tearing into Group H of the 2026 World Cup. But before we even get started, I need you to do me a massive favor. Take your pure emotional football fandom and just set it aside for a minute. Seriously, we aren't looking at this group through the lens of a diehard fan who just wants to see beautiful goals. No, today we are locking into a strict professional collector mindset. We're breaking down Spain, Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde purely from the perspective of the sports card market. We're talking hard investment opportunities, risk-to-reward ratios, and exactly how you position yourself strategically before the biggest tournament on the planet kicks off. Okay, let's dive into this, because this right here is the central irony of the sports card market, and it's something so many beginners just get completely wrong. Real-world talent on the pitch doesn't always equal a positive investment return. I mean, a player can have the tournament of their life, win the whole thing, and their cards might still flatline or even drop. Crazy, right? Why? Because the market plays by its own, often ruthless set of rules. And decoding that massive disconnect between football reality and hobby reality is exactly what we're going to do today. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll cover the fundamental market mechanisms, then a quick overview of Group H. After that, we'll hit the massive Yamal hype in Spain, uncover some hidden investment gems in Uruguay, look at underdogs with huge leverage, and finally, I'll give you our top collector picks. Let's get right to it. Section 1. Card value mechanisms, or basically the rules of the market. To truly dominate the 2026 World Cup market, we first have to understand what actually drives card prices. There are 6 absolutely crucial market mechanisms at play here. Sure, talent and sporting market value are the foundation. But honestly, as collectors, we care way more about hype, the rarity of a card, and a player's true World Cup potential. But listen up, the absolute most critical factor, that's the entry price, or what we call the valuation level. In the investment world, it's all about price and expectations. If the whole world already expects a kid to be the next superstar, that future success is already baked into today's card price. Your entry price is what dictates your profit, not just the player's skills on the pitch. And this brilliantly illustrates the disconnect we're talking about. Let's look at Spain's Rodri. From a fan's perspective, he's probably the best midfielder on the planet, right? An absolute maestro. But from a collector's perspective, he is a glaring, massive sell. Why? Because the card market almost never rewards defensive-minded midfielders long-term. Attackers bring the cash. Plus, Rodri has already won so much that his entire positive momentum is completely priced in. His upside, practically zero. Moving on to Section 2, Group H at a glance, the starting point. We've got to analyze the raw tournament reality before we can map out our investment reality. These bookmaker odds directly shape our risk-reward calculations. As you can see, Spain is heavily dominating with a 75% chance to win the group, followed by Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Cape Verde, total long shots. So what's the takeaway? We know Spanish and Uruguayan players are practically guaranteed to hit the knockout stages, which means way more screen time on the biggest stage. That lowers our risk, but yeah, it also drives up their base prices. Section 3, Spain, the Yamal hype and the favorites. Look, Spain is potentially the single most important team for the entire World Cup card market right now, thanks to their insanely exciting young core. The biggest question isn't whether Spain can advance. The question is whether anyone can stop them. That quote literally hits the nail on the head. A deep tournament run from Spain could send their already red-hot card market into absolute overdrive. If their young stars show up and dominate, we're going to see price movements that define the entire hobby. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hard investment choice it presents. Lamine Yamal is the undisputed superstar here, generational talent. But we're only listing him as a hold. Why? Because the hype is astronomical and it's already priced into his sky-high cards. On the flip side, look at Huijsen. He's a buy. He's one of the most thrilling young defenders out there, but he costs a fraction of Yamal. The risk-reward ratio with Huijsen's massive upside and low entry cost is just light years better. And that same logic applies to these specific Spanish targets. We want elite talent at highly attractive market prices. Cubarsí, brilliant example. An elite defensive prospect, but since everyone is staring at Yamal, Cubarsí is flying under the radar. Nico Williams is another fantastic buy one. He's established, sure, but he's got huge room for a true mainstream breakout, and he's significantly cheaper than comparable stars from other nations. Section 4, Uruguay. Underestimated investment chances, the tacticians. This team has a massive tournament tradition, and under Marcelo Bielsa's aggressive system, they offer some unbelievable buy low opportunities. So the crucial point is separating the massive leverage plays from the high-risk ticking time bombs. Darwin Núñez carries enormous expectations, but he's a severe downside risk if he stumbles. So he's a classic sell if you're risk-averse. But then you have these amazing buy-low situations. Ronald Araújo is an underrated defensive anchor. Manuel Ugarte is solid, but not overvalued yet. And Facundo Pellistri, he offers massive leverage as a potential breakout star if Uruguay goes on a deep run. And I have to mention Federico Valverde. He's a perfect reminder that not every world-class player is a volatile asset. He's the beating heart of this team, an absolute star, but his market is incredibly efficient and stable. He represents one of the safest holds you can have as a collector. Just don't expect overnight explosive growth from him.
Section 5. Underdogs with high leverage are speculative investments. Let's leave the safe havens and treat these massive underdogs like high-leverage penny stocks in the investment world.
Remember Saudi Arabia's absolute shocker against Argentina in 2022? Well, if they pull off another miracle, Saud Abdelhamid is your guy. He's their most recognizable player internationally, and because his entry valuation is so incredibly low, a repeat performance would cause his cards to absolutely skyrocket. It's a highly speculative but super fun buy.
Then we have Cape Verde making their historic World Cup debut. It's an amazing story. And these unique narratives often create sudden, super lucrative short-term movements for collectors. Guys like Logan Costa and Daylon Livramento are clear buys. They have rock-bottom entry valuations, meaning any success gives you massive, massive leverage.
Section 6, Top Picks for Collectors, the final ranking. Let's move to and see how this builds into our final, actionable masterclass list for Group H. So here's our definitive summary table. Look, Lamine Yamal is still number one in terms of name recognition, but from a pure investment perspective, he's just a hold. The real magic is right below him. The Spanish trio of Dean Huijsen, Nico Williams, and Pau Cubarsí offer the absolute most attractive return on investment right now. Elite talent plus room to grow. And Valverde anchors the list as your safe, stable hold.
So what does this all mean for your portfolio? I want to leave you with this. Is Lamine Yamal really worth his astronomical current price? Or is Dean Huijsen going to end up being the true investment winner of this entire tournament? Apply the market mechanisms we just went over and really think about it. I hope this explainer helps you see the board like a true pro. Stay sharp, collect smarts, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
Thanks for listening to Card Market Catalyst. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into football card investing, make sure to like and subscribe.